I'm Beth and I live in Arlington, Texas, and I work in promotions for a baseball team there. How I found Christie was on Facebook. There was a webinar coming up, and I signed up with that. My favorite thing in the world is to travel, and I can manifest a trip like nothing, like nobody's business. I mean, I have trips just drop into my lap. I've been given trips to Greece and Berlin and Prague and Ireland, and that doesn't seem to take any effort at all on my part. I can fly for free with one of the airlines now, so I've manifested that. I started doing the program, and almost immediately those surprise checks started coming. My aunt called and said she was sending me $1,500 out of the blue, followed by another check for a couple $100s from another aunt, and so things like that started happening, and it's just confirmation that things are working and the ball is rolling. Soon after that, I found out about this weekend here in LA, and thought there wasn't any way I could do that. But one night I was just lying there and kind of going through the process, connecting to the light and all, the whole bit. And finally I just said out loud, okay, if you want me to go, got to provide the money for me. And very next day, another aunt called and said, I'm sending you a check for $5,600 from your father's estate that we didn't know was there. Yeah, so anyway, I got the check. It was funny, I just kind of smiled when she said it. It's like, kind of got a chill, and said, okay, I guess I'm going to LA. And it was funny too, my reaction was, I didn't jump up and down for joy and go crazy. I just kind of smiled, and I thought inside, this is the way it's always supposed to be. It's always supposed to be like this. Things should just come like this. And that's what I hope that the program will continue to do for me. I think it's just confirmation. I like to have that confirmation along the way. And it's just like, yeah, it works. I'm always looking for the synchronicity in things, and I've been much more aware of that. Now, maybe it was happening before as well, but I wasn't always tracking it, and I think I'm more aware lately of the synchronicity that's happening and the divine timing of things and how things are flowing. I'm noticing that more now. But there was also another thing that I just remembered, and that was my stepfather was in a nursing facility before he passed away, and after he died, I got a bill that the Medicaid had stopped, and there was a lapse in there, and that I owed like $6,000. And I called all the people I'm supposed to call, and they all said, yep, you owe that, you owe that, you owe that. And this was also at the time that I started doing this work with Christie, and I called an attorney that I had worked with to do the wills for my parents, and she said, let me just send an email and I'll get back to you. And she called me back a couple days later, and she said, somebody there made a mistake, they've corrected it, you don't owe anything. So that was like several $1,000s back in my pocket that I didn't have to spend. So to me, that's just as good as getting the checks. It's an intense process, it's effective and all, but she has this lighthearted approach, which I really like. When she giggles, it just makes me feel like it's not such a heavy, dramatic, difficult thing to do, that it can be light and it can be fun, and you can get through it without all the drama and the trauma, perhaps. I like that approach. I'm happy with that. And it doesn't have to be so hard. You can laugh through it. Some people you can never convince, but I would still say that it's worked for me. If they wanted examples, I could give them the examples that I gave you. Everybody has to know for themselves, and this is just something that resonated with me. And I don't know if I would even try to convince somebody. I think maybe just by setting the example of how it's working for me and what I'm doing with it might be the best way to show somebody. I was looking forward to being with a group of people and feeling that energy, and maybe learning more about the techniques and the processes, and meeting some people, like-minded people, and and of course seeing Christie, and just feeling that energy, and I think that would maybe take it to another level for me. If Christie were here, I would definitely like to thank her for bringing this program to us, for organizing it in a step-by-step fashion that we can follow along and learn to do what she does, and maybe even more. And I would love to be able to tell her that in person.